Okay, today's topic is ARI, acute respiratory infection. So, acute respiratory infection, that is the broad classification, which is acute, that means not chronic. This is the opposite of the chronic. It is the acute infection, and it is a broad term, broad classification. It is including common cold to pneumonia. Mainly, it is classified on the basis of URTI and LRTI, that is inflammation of respiratory tract mainly, and this is classified into two groups, that is URTI and LRTI, upper respiratory tract infection and lower respiratory tract infection. In upper respiratory tract infection, because this is the inflammation of respiratory tract, so that is URTI, includes common cold, pharyngitis, otitis media. So this is the inflammation of nose to alveoli, lungs, because ARI means inflammation of respiratory tract from nose to alveoli. For URTI, that is the inflammation of nose, pharynx, and even ear. So that comes under URTI. And LRTI, that is inflammation of epiglottis, larynx, trachea, bronchi, and lungs. So that all comes under LRTI. That is epiglottitis, laryngitis, laryngotracheitis, bronchitis, bronchiolitis, and the pneumonia. So these are LRTI. Mainly URTI is not danger, but LRTI is danger and associated with death. Mainly we will discuss ARI as a whole and what are the agent factor, and mainly we will discuss the pneumonia, because in syllabus there is ARI and pneumonia, so there is separate disease has been mentioned. That's why I'm going to discuss about ARI and mainly pneumonia. Okay, epidemiological determinants. First, agent factor. So bacteria, that is Corynebacterium diphtheria. C. diphtheria cause diphtheria, Haemophilus influenza, then Klebsiella pneumonia, Legionella pneumonia, Streptococcus pneumonia, then Streptococcus pyogenes, Staphylococcus pyogenes, and Bordetella pertussis, which can cause whooping cough. So these are the bacterial. Similarly, viral, that is adenovirus, enterovirus, because I'm going to only choose about the agent factor. That's why I'm not going to A's and sign and symptom. So I'm going to talk about the agent factor only. So in viruses, adenovirus, enterovirus, influenza virus, measles, respiratory syncytial virus, rhinovirus, coronavirus, parainfluenza. So these are the viral agent. Similarly, other agent, chlamydia type B, psittacosis, chlamydia type B, then Coxiella pleuroniti, Q fever, and Mycoplasma pneumoniae. So these are the agent factor which can cause ARI, and there may be around 100 agent. So these are the main, but there may be 100 agent which can cause ARI. But these are the main. It may be bacteria, mainly bacteria, then virus, then other, then fungi also. So these are the agent factor for ARI, and mainly we are going to discuss about the pneumonia and some agent factor, other factors such as host factor, environmental factor, all are same, because pneumonia is a ARI, because ARI means inflammation of respiratory tract which range from nose to alveoli, and pneumonia means inflammation of lungs. It may be one lung, it may be both lungs. So all are similar except few features, because pneumonia is a part of ARI, and this is the infection mainly which informs the alveoli of the lungs. And generally, that alveoli is filled with gases, oxygen, and in case of pneumonia, instead of gases, that fill with fluid or pus. Generally, it that alveoli, which is a smaller unit of lungs as well, generally fill with gases, but instead of gas, it is filled with fluid or pus, causing cough with sputum or pus. It may be cough with sputum. Generally, there is almost no dry cough. It may be sputum or pus, fever, chills, difficult breathing. So these are the clinical features of pneumonia. And there are variety of agents, mainly bacteria, the virus, then other fungi also. And it may be simple, mild to life-threatening. So the seriousness may be range from mild to life-threatening because CFR is high, especially among less than 5-year children, which accounts around 15% of total death, and the most serious for infants and young children and older than 65 years. According to WHO report, which is published in 2019, pneumonia is the single largest infectious cause of death in children worldwide. And due to pneumonia, 8,694 children died due to pneumonia in 2017, which account 15% of all children death. That is the under 5 death. So still due to pneumonia, 15% children died. So 15% children die due to pneumonia. Then it mainly affects the children less than 5 years, but mainly it is more prevalent in Southeast Asia region, SEER, Southeast Asia region. So Nepal is the part of Southeast Asia. So Nepal also suffering from pneumonia. So most prevalent in Nepal also, and sub-Sahara Africa. And it can be prevented by simple intervention and treated with low-cost medicine. That is the amoxicillin. We will discuss later. Then mainly pneumonia is caused by bacterial infection. Mainly Streptococcus pneumoniae, which is the most common bacterial infection among children. Thereafter, Haemophilus influenza type B, HIV. So there is vaccination against HIV. So that's the second most common cause of bacterial pneumonia, Haemophilus influenza type B. So it has vaccine. Then respiratory syncytial virus is the most common viral cause of the pneumonia. And in case of HIV, that is pneumocystic jirovecii is the one of the most common cause of the pneumonia, which is responsible for at least 1/4 of all pneumonia death in HIV-infected infants. Especially, this is for infant. So, if the child has HIV, then there is 1/4 of death of all pneumonia caused by pneumocystic jirovecii. And there are other agents. So Streptococcus pneumoniae, that is the most common. Haemophilus influenza type B, especially Mycoplasma pneumoniae, Legionella pneumonia, that is the bacterial pneumonia. There are other, but these are the main. In viral pneumonia, that is influenza, respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, coronavirus, rhinovirus, which mainly cause common cold. And viral pneumonia is usually milder and can improve in 1 to 3 weeks without treatment. So there is viral pneumonia also, but it can be improved, cure without treatment after 1 to 3 weeks. And fungal pneumonia, that is pneumocystic jirovecii, we discussed those. Then cryptococcus species and histoplasmosis species. So they are the fungal pneumonia. So mainly bacterial pneumonia. Then viral, then fungal. In bacterial pneumonia, that is Staphylococcus pneumonia is the most common. Then Haemophilus influenza is also. Okay, types of pneumonia. There are different types of pneumonia. Mainly, we can say four types of pneumonia. That is aspiration pneumonia, hospital-acquired pneumonia, community-acquired pneumonia, and the ventilator-associated pneumonia. And ventilator-associated pneumonia can be included into hospital-acquired pneumonia. But I have break down that ventilator-associated pneumonia and hospital-acquired pneumonia. But we can incorporate ventilator-associated pneumonia under hospital-acquired pneumonia. So first, aspiration pneumonia. So caused by breathing in vomit. It may be fluid also. So that vomitous or fluid directly goes to lungs. So that is the aspiration pneumonia. So caused by breathing in vomit or foreign object. It may be peanut. It may be other object or harmful substances. So that can cause aspiration pneumonia. During during eating something, if that goes to respiratory tract and go to lungs, so that can cause aspiration pneumonia. Then hospital acquired pneumonia. The pneumonia develops in the hospital while being treated for another condition or having an operation. There was a different purpose. The purpose of admission, the purpose of visit may be different, but the person comes with a different disease, or the person comes with pneumonia, so that is the hospital acquired pneumonia. Then other is community acquired pneumonia, that refers to the pneumonia that's acquired outside of the medical or institutional setting. If that pneumonia acquired from outside the hospital, that is the community acquired. Hospital acquired, which is acquired from the hospital, it may be during visiting of the visitor or visiting of our relatives, during meeting the person of near and dear one or relatives, or it may be admission for another reason. If that person acquired pneumonia, that is hospital acquired. Community acquired, that is outside the health institution or hospital. Another is ventilator associated pneumonia. When people who are using ventilator get pneumonia, so that is called VAP, ventilator associated pneumonia. So people in the intensive care on the breathing machine are particularly at risk of the developing ventilator associated pneumonia. So there are the mainly four types of pneumonia: aspiration pneumonia, hospital acquired pneumonia, community acquired pneumonia, and ventilator associated pneumonia. Okay, sign syndrome. Obviously, cough and fever is the most common. Cough, which may be greenish, yellow, or even bloody mucus. As cough is most common, and fever as well. So fever, sweating, and sucking chills. Then shortness of the breath, SOB, shortness of the breath, rapid shallow breathing. So rapid and shallow breathing is also associated with the shortness of the breath. Then sharp and stabbing chest pain, that gets worse when breathed deeply or cough. During coughing and during deep breath, so there is sharp and stabbing chest pain. So chest pain is also common, mainly coughing and deep breath. Then loss of appetite, low energy and fatigue. And nausea, vomiting may be, but not much common, but it may be common among children. Confusion, especially in older people who is 65 plus. Mainly, the main clinical features is cough, then fever, then SOB, shortness of the breath. So mainly cough and fever is the most common, then shortness of the breath, and then chest pain also. So these are the clinical features of pneumonia. And it is also, saturation level is also low, oxygen level may be low. Okay, just we discuss in systemic, that is high fever, chills, skin, clamminess, blueness in lungs, cough with sputum, shortness of the breath, SOB, pleuritic chest pain, hemoptysis. So it may be sputum or it may be blood. So blood in sputum. Then muscular, that is fatigue and aches. Then in central, that is headache, loss of appetite, mood swings. maybe mood swings, especially 65 plus. Vascular, there is low blood pressure, hypertension, heart rate increase. It may be nausea, vomiting, and joint pain. So it may be myalgia, generally myalgia, and sometimes arthalgia as well. Myalgia, pain in muscle, arthalgia, pain in joints. Okay, risk group. So what are the risk group? Especially young children. Young children, elderly people who is 60 plus or 65 plus, people who smoke or parental smoke, people with other health conditions such as asthma, heart disease, kidney disease, and liver disease. So they are also at risk group. And people with weakened immune system. So that is HIV or AIDS. So HIV and AIDS is a different stages. It may be AIDS or it may be recent illness, flu. So that is the people with weakened immune system or having chemotherapy, taking medicine after organ transplant, and the person is in corticosteroid therapy. The person is taking corticosteroid. So that are at risk group. And there are other environmental factors such as indoor air pollution. So mainly it is found in rural area, indoor air pollution. Then living in the crowded homes and parental smoke. So these are the other environmental factors which is associated with pneumonia. So these are the environmental factor and the risk groups. And complication, pneumonia complication, that may cause bacteremia, in which bacteria spread into blood and can cause septic shock and the organ failure. So that bacteria spread or moves to blood, then that can cause septic shock, organ failure, and that can cause trouble breathing, and that can also cause death due to trouble in breathing. So fluid build up between the layer of the tissue that line lungs and chest cavity. This fluid can also become infected, and lung abscess, and due to trouble in breathing, lung abscess, there may be death. Then host factors. The host factor for pneumonia and host factor for ARI. We discussed the agent factor of pneumonia, agent factor of ARI, and host factor. So this is for pneumonia as well as ARI. Mainly, high incidence is found in young infant as well as malnourished children, because we already discussed about the vicious cycle. Vicious cycle, that is malnutrition and infection cycle. If there is malnutrition, immunity power is low, then various infectious disease can cause the disease. So during malnutrition, or we can say during infection, there is loss of appetite. There is loss of appetite, then growth faltering, and due to loss of appetite, there is low intake of the calorie, but body require more nutrient, more calorie during that period, during infection. But there is low intake, and there is low metabolism. So that is called altered metabolism. That's why nutrient or calorie is not met. So that is again associated with malnutrition, or the nutrition status is worsened, then the calorie is also inadequate. And during that period, immunity power is low, and the infected disease or infectious disease can cause the disease, or can cause, because that is the susceptible host. Due to susceptible host, whose immunity power is low, susceptible host and susceptible host. So susceptible host is that whose immunity power is low. So due to immunity power low, that body cannot fight with the infectious agent and can cause the disease. So malnutrition and low birth weight play important role in the morbidity and mortality. The condition may be worse, recovery may be longer, and the complication is more stronger and can cause death. So it is associated with morbidity and mortality. If there is malnutrition, there is high chance of complication and death. and if it is recovery, then recovery will be slower in malnutrition and low birth weight. In low birth weight, again, immunity power is also low. And adult females are more affected than males. So if you see the ratio, male and female are more prone for ARI or pneumonia. Is especially mortality is higher in infants, young children, and elderly. Just we discussed in risk group. So less than 5 year children and elderly population are risk group, or they are at risk. Increasing trend from infancy, that is otitis media, is seen in the highest at the age of 5 years. Otitis media, a kind of ARI. So that is the increasing trend from the infancy. So these are those factors, and the risk factors we discuss risk group, and these are the risk factors. So few point may be similar. So this factor, that is winter season or winter climate, because at winter season there is tends to the other family member reside at inside the home. Poor housing or poor ventilation. If one child is suffering from ARI, if there is good ventilation, then there may be good outlet of the bacteria or agent. But if there is poor ventilation, that agent, bacteria, it may be virus, circulate in the air inside the room, and when other child breathe, then or that air inhale, that bacteria, virus, or agent inhale and goes to lungs and can cause pneumonia or other disease or ARI. Overcrowding, low socioeconomic status, that is low income, low earning capacity, income is low, occupation is not good, then education is not good, illiterate. Low education awareness, low birth weight, malnutrition, again associated with empty power, indoor air pollution, environmental pollution, then maternal smoking. So due to passive smoking, and more in urban communities may be due to high pollution. So generally indoor air pollution is found in rural area, but in urban area there may be environmental pollution. So due to environmental pollution there may be a risk of ARI. So due to environmental pollution, mortality is affected by the influenza incidence. If that area is endemic or epidemic for influenza, so that is at risk or risk factor. Mode of transmission. So this is the droplet transmission and airborne transmission, because this is the respiratory route of infection. That's why droplet transmission, it may be direct contact or it may be indirect contact, and airborne transmission, droplet transmission and airborne transmission. So we are entering in the management part. So management part of ARI and pneumonia is little bit big. So this chapter is also big. For other disease, we can finish in 1 to 3 slides, but for pneumonia or ARI, it has a big chapter for management, because according to MSCI, we have to follow each and everything. We'll discuss what is CVIMNCI. Come to this integrated management of childhood and neonatal illness. IMNCI, integrated management of neonatal and childhood illness. CV mean come to base. So we have to follow all procedure under CVIMCI protocol. So first, when there is the history of cough, because cough is common in ARI as well as pneumonia. When there is a cough, we have to check each and everything one by one, step by step. So if there is cough, count the respiratory rate of 1 minute for fast breathing. Whether the child breathing is fast or not. So we have to count the respiratory rate by using timer. So there is a timer, a machine, due to by the help of timer, which shows the time of 1 minute. So we have to count for 1 minute by the help of timer. Then we can decide this is pneumonia or not. So if fast or the respiratory rate is 60 or more for less than 2 month child, that is called pneumonia. So on the basis of respiratory rate, we can decide there is pneumonia or not. So if it is 60 or more for less than 2 month child, so that is called fast breathing. That means pneumonia on the basis of respiratory rate. And if the child is 2 months to 12 months, then 50 or more respiratory rate, that is considered fast breathing or pneumonia. Then 40 or more for 1 to 5 year children. So that is the cutoff rate. So cutoff rate for less than 2 months 60, 2 months to 12 months 50 or more. Then 1 to 5 year children cutoff point is 40 or more. For example, the child is 2 years and the respiratory rate is 50, so that is pneumonia. Directly that is the pneumonia. We have to see other associate cause also, but for that, on the basis of respiratory rate, we can say that is pneumonia on the basis of respiratory count only. And other factor, we have to look for unconsciousness. The child is conscious or unconscious. Look for chest indwelling during inspiration. Kokano, so chest indwelling. The lower part of the chest goes inside. So we have to check chest indwelling. Then look and listen for a stridor during inspiration. So there is a sound. There is sound during inspiration. So that is the stridor, gargar. It is in Nepali. It is called gargar, stridor. But during inspiration, and look and listen the wheezing. Is there wheezing sound or not? Generally, we can find out by auscultation, wheezing or not during expiration. For chest injury, strain, so that is only inspection. During expiration and wheezing, we can find out by auscultation with the help of stethoscope during expiration. And we have to check that is abnormally sleepy or difficult to wake or drowsiness, because we have to separate danger sign present or not. What is danger sign? We'll discuss in on the slide. Feel for fever or low body temperature. So we have to check the temperature. Check for malnutrition. We have to check weight, height, buttock muscle, and cyanosis. Check for good light. Check in good light. Cyanosis is there or not. And detail we'll discuss in CB-IMCI in fourth semester, because there is a topic CB-IMCI which consists 4 hours. We'll discuss there, but we are discussing pneumonia. That's why we require this much. Okay, we have to check the danger sign also. So there is excessive vomiting. Excessive vomiting, or child is unable to drink or breastfeed. Convulsion, unconsciousness, and abdominal sleepy or difficult to wake. So if there is one sign present, then that is called danger sign. If all are present, that is danger sign. One is present, that is danger sign. So vomiting, excessive vomiting, not vomiting only, excessive vomiting, convulsion, unconsciousness, abnormally sleepy, difficult to wake, unable to drink or breastfeed. So if one is present, so that is called danger sign. So how to classify cough or difficult breathing? So this is IMCI protocol for severe pneumonia or very severe disease. For severe pneumonia or very severe disease, any general danger sign, any GDS, just we discuss. So this is GDS, general danger sign. One is present, that is GDS. So any GDS, so that is severe pneumonia, but must be present with cough. Cough and GDS, so that is severe pneumonia or very severe disease. So this is the classification. So that is in rate. Or stridor in calm children. Stridor in calm children. So that is severe pneumonia or very severe disease. So give first dose of appropriate antibiotic and refer urgently to hospital. So appropriate antibiotic is ampicillin. Ampicillin can be given for severe pneumonia or very severe disease. according to CBIMCR protocol. We have to follow the CBIMCR protocol. According to that protocol, we have to give ampicillin, then refer. So that is for severe pneumonia or very severe disease. And if there is fast breathing and or chest injury, there is no fast breathing, but if there is chest injury, so that is pneumonia. But there is no chest injury, but fast breathing, that is pneumonia also. Both pneumonia, fast breathing and or chest injury. Previously, there is no provision of the chest injury. So if there is chest injury, that falls in the different category. But again, the strategy has been changed. If there is chest injury, then that is also pneumonia. So fast breathing and or chest injury, that is pneumonia. So give appropriate oral antibiotic, that is amoxicillin is used. Previously, there was cotrimoxazole. In the book also, there may be cotrimoxazole. But now the treatment protocol has been changed. So amoxicillin instead of cotrimoxazole. If it is written cotrimoxazole, then we have to write amoxicillin because the treatment protocol has been changed. Then soothe the throat and relieve the cough with the safe remedy. So homemade safe drug we can give. That is the honey, then lemon, then turmeric and tulsi, the leaf of tulsi can be given. We can make a paste, then can be given. Then advise mother when to return immediately, generally follow up after 2 days in case of pneumonia. And there is cough only, but there is no sign of the pneumonia or the very severe disease. That is no pneumonia, cough or cold. So this is the this is the classification. There is no sign of pneumonia or very severe disease, but present with cough. If it's cough, then we have to check all these things. We will discuss in IMCR detail. But if there is cough, then we have to check everything. Then there is no pneumonia and there no severe disease or very severe disease.